So it seems like the Washington Commanders have dodged a bullet. Let's talk about it.
Shout out to Juan Gotti talking sports. You know what it is.
Shout out Juan Gotti talking sports.
The way that we live is not for everybody.
Nah, that ain't it, y'all.
How do you think the rest of Jayden Daniels' career is going to go? If we're, 6, 7 games into Jayden Daniels' career and he's already milking injuries, like...
Stop saying my name, you dick riding bastard. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, and Shawty is the winner. You can tell that Shawty no beginner, she's confident.
Before we get any further into today's video, I want to give a huge shout out to today's sponsor, SeatGeek. If you're trying to go to a game, concert, or any live event, SeatGeek is the place to go. I actually got my tickets for week 1 against the New York Giants using SeatGeek, and honestly, I use it for all my event purchases. What I love about SeatGeek is how simple it is to find the best deals. They rate every seat on a scale from green to red. Green means you're getting a great deal, red means it's a little overpriced. That way you know you're buying with confidence and getting your money's worth. Plus, they even offer protection ticket plans so you don't have to worry about your tickets getting lost or stolen. And the best part about it all is they're hooking y'all up with the code. Use Juan Gotti at checkout and you'll get 10% off your first purchase. Again, use code Juan Gotti at checkout to get 10% off your first purchase. The Washington Commanders have been dealt a really unfortunate hand this year, especially when it comes to the injury bug. There's so many players that has been affected by the injury bug here in Washington, and I know what a lot of people are going to say that are non-Washington Commanders fans. That's no excuse. Every team has dealt with injuries, and although this is a collision sport and every team has their fair share of injuries, I don't know if there's another team this year that has been affected by the injury bug like the Washington Commanders. It's not just injuries that happen and you can come back from, or it's not injuries at positions that you may be the most depth at, or you can kind of survive without those players for a while. It's injuries at our key positions, right? Whether it's Austin Eckler, whether it's Dietrich Wise, Will Hurst, Terry McLaurin, Debo Samuel, right? Like, we have sustained so many injuries to the point where it doesn't seem like it's given us a fair opportunity to really see how this team can shape out to be. The newest additions to the injury bug is Dorrance Armstrong, and it's so unfortunate because we already knew Dorrance came into Sunday's game with a hamstring injury, and if you asked a lot of people around the team and around the fan base, they felt like Dorrance should not played or should not have played, or they didn't even have the thought that he was going to play originally. It felt like Dorrance would miss at least this game coming up, but he ended up giving it a go, and it ended up costing him the rest of the season, as he has now sustained a lower leg injury, and he'll be out for the rest of the year. And again, that's another position that has been completely depleted by injuries. As I already mentioned, you have Dorrance Armstrong being hurt, you have Javonte Jean-Baptiste being hurt, you have Dietrich Wise being hurt, and again, those are all players that you expected to come in and help with this defensive end room, and you really have no starters out there. So bad that Jacob Martin has looked like our best pass rusher, not named Dorrance Armstrong. It's so bad that Von Miller, who wasn't supposed to have an extensive role, unfortunately has to play more, and he's not a guy that at this point of his career can do what he was once, known to do. It sucks, and having no ability to get to the quarterback due to your injuries is a bitter pill to swallow. But what's even more worse than that is having a defensive coordinator that already has struggled and now you kind of give him not an out in a sense, but you kind of don't expect much is what I'm trying to say. Like, it'd be one thing if we had all these injuries, but we had a coach that we trusted, that we say, you know what, yeah, we're dealing with all these injuries, but I can still find a way to get creative in my scheming and in my play calling and in my blitzes and finding ways to get pressure on the quarterback. Yeah, we're down guys, but that doesn't stop us from moving forward. And I feel like now with the injury to Dorrance, it's going to force him to do what we felt like should have been done since week 1, and that's use Frankie Louvu as a pass rusher. That's use Bobby Wagner more of just a blitz only kind of linebacker. That's put Jordan McGee on the field as he's your most athletic and fastest backer that you have. So in that case, I hate that Dorrance had to be a casualty because he was our best pass rusher and quite frankly our only guy that was able to get consistent pressure on the quarterback. But you now have to literally rely on your play calling. If I'm Joe Witt, you literally have to rely on your ability to scheme things up. There's no more guys that you have that you can say can go out there and win one-on-one. There's no guys. So in order for you to find ways to get pressure on the quarterback, it's going to solely be up to you. And if Joe Witt Jr. wasn't already under a lot of pressure to begin with, this is going to genuinely put him under pressure. Seats genuinely going to be hot because at this point, there's no one to blame. Remember a few weeks ago, he tried to get up there and blame the guys, the players. And at that point, you really couldn't knock him for it. But at this point, whether it's your fault or not, which it's not, right? You can't control injuries. It sucks that they happen, but they happen. You have nobody to blame. What you gonna do? Blame Drake Jackson? He's still on IR, and we just got him. We signed a guy, then immediately put him on IR. Like, it's insane. But the moral of the story is we have like double-digit players on IR. It's insane. Dorrance is the newest member of that. Unfortunately, he'll be gone for the rest of the year, and I just don't see a way in the world that we get any pressure on the quarterback, especially between our defensive coordinator being inept and the lack of personnel that we now have at that position specifically. But the good news, let's get to the semi-good news, and quite frankly, again, the news that I think everyone has clicked on this video for is Jayden Daniels. Again, Jayden Daniels went down in the Dallas Cowboys game after sustaining a hamstring injury. It looked worse than what it initially or what we eventually got. I mean, when you see a guy fall down, twist down, and immediately grab at something and grimace in pain, it's not a pretty sight, and you don't want that to be the case when it comes to your franchise quarterback, let alone anybody. But it seemed as if we were mentally preparing to be without Jayden Daniels for minimum the next month. But according to Dan Quinn, we got word that it's not as bad as we thought, and it's considered to be week to week, right? At this point, he does not know the status of Jayden Daniels' injury and where he's at. But what he did say is the status for him on Monday is unknown. I mean, I think we can all make a prediction and say he's not playing on Monday. Although the extra day does give them more time to see, I think we all can just kind of feel like Jayden isn't going to play. And I hope they don't reap as desperation or react in desperation, as I think a lot of fans felt like that's what they did with Dorrance Armstrong, is they realized they had nobody out there, so Dorrance had to push it, and he eventually got hurt again because, again, we showed a move of desperation. That's the last thing that I think that they're going to do with Jayden Daniels, obviously. I don't think they're going to move cautious, and they're going to move with the right procedures. It's just, again, it sucks because He's my only hope right now. A lot of people wonder, Juan, why are you so down on the season? Why are you already saying the season's over and we're only in week 8? It's simply because of the hand we have been dealt. No one expected this year to go the way that it has. No one expected the injuries to be what they were. But that's the hand we were dealt. But even with that being said, had we had Jayden Daniels out there, had we had 5 out there, I still would feel like we can win any game. I felt that way in the Dallas game, even when we were down 15-30, even after we got the touchdown and then in 45 seconds they went down and got a score as well. I said, bro, we gonna win this game, or at least I had a feeling we was gonna win this game. And then once Jayden Daniels turned the ball over and got hurt consequently on the same play, it kind of just made me say, yeah, you know what, season's done. Theoretically and mathematically, the season's not over, but just in the direction that we seem to be headed with the injuries, with the upcoming schedule, with already being 1-4 in the conference, it's kind of uphill climb battle. But I will say this, I loved hearing from Dan Quinn yesterday. He kind of gave me some motivation, or gave me some confidence in a sense. And the one thing that I kind of gained from Dan Quinn yesterday is I almost feel bad for DQ, because you know how bad he wants it. You know, I just know DQ is coaching his ass off behind doors, behind the scenes. I know DQ is doing the right thing, and it's just not coming together for many reasons. And he wants this thing bad. See, with Ron Rivera, the biggest difference is, you know, Ron Rivera was in and over his head. The way he talked to the media, you can tell he was in and over his head. You can tell he didn't have a clue. You can tell he was just a sitting duck. I don't get that same, message or that same feeling from Dan Quinn. I get pissed off because he knows we shouldn't be 3-4. We're a better team than this. Dan Quinn, I know this is a guy that's chomping at the bit, that's going to continue to work, and I hope we're able to turn it around. I don't want to be negative Nancy and say the season's over, but at the end of the day, I'm a fan. I'm a person that reacts in the moment. I'm a person that reacts with feeling. I'm a person that reacts with realism, whether it's something that we want to hear or not. And at this point, there's no positive signs, considering the fact that we literally have all these injuries. The secondary's playing like shit. Jayden Daniels probably won't play on Monday. I don't know his status for the week after that. Will continue, but again, it's just an unfortunate season. That's what you chalk it up to. I still think Adam Peters is a hell of a general manager. I hope he learned from his mistakes. I still believe in Jayden Daniels, and shame on you for some people that's comparing him to RG3, and as Jayden Daniels' mother said, y'all are wishing that on her son, and that's not cool. And shame on people that's saying, oh, we should have took Drake May. Yeah, like as if it's Jayden Daniels' fault that all this is happening. Without 5, we would literally be 0-6. But some positive news, I'll say we dodged the bullet, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Not really super positive. Could have been worse for Jayden Daniels, but we did get the worst for Dorrance Armstrong, our best pass rusher, and we don't know what we're going to do from here when it comes to getting after the quarterback. But that's all I have for you today. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel on the road to 12,000 subscribers. Love each and every one of y'all. Y'all have a blessed one. Stay safe. Be easy out there. Peace.
Ballin' like I'm Deshaun, throw the bomb, G. That's IG, my jersey never seen a laundry.